Did this start? Oh, it did start. Good morning, true crime friends. I'm sitting here fiddling with my phone. I was like, I'm not sure if it came on. Hey, welcome back. It's so good to see you. Listen, normally on Monday mornings, I'm like, oh, what am I going to talk about? There's nothing happening. And then an actual true crime was caught on film here at my house yesterday. I know some of you have seen the video. It is out of control. This zombie wasp I thought was dead, but kept rising up and coming back from the dead and trying to kill me. I'm about to tell you all about it. But first, make sure you hit the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, make comments, do all the YouTube things. Okay, so listen, I'm minding my own business, right? I'm sitting upstairs in the upper room studios, minding my business, doing Snapped, right? And so I did not see the bug enter the room. I'm just like, I'm running my mouth, child. You know I am want to run off at the mouth. So I'm running off at the mouth like I always do. And then in the phone, I see something behind me, zoom by, and I was like, oh, what was that? It looked big. And periodically, and from time to time, every now and then, once every couple of years, we get like a tiny little baby, like a wasp nest, but like the beginnings of a wasp nest, not a full one. Like 2 or 3 little cells up in the attic. And because usually people are not up there all the time, you may or may not notice it. And then randomly in the spring or in the summer, you'll see a wasp fly by and then we find the nest and we kill it and like blah, blah, blah. Fine, right? I had not seen anything, not a thing. I do not know how these mud dauber wasps live. I don't know how they socialize. Is there a bar near my house? I don't know. Is it in my attic? What is happening? Listen, I freaked all the way out. But look, initially, I am a peaceful person, right? So I'm just like, okay. I saw a bug. I don't know what it was. I just saw it fly through the background. It was big. It was black. And I don't know if you can hear, if you go back and watch that video in one of the clips that I pulled, you can hear it buzzing. The buzzing was so loud. Even with both earphones in, I could hear this very loud buzzing. And I was like, what is happening up here? And so I took a piece of construction paper because when I'm upstairs, listen, this setup downstairs is nice. The lights are permanently mounted. Everything is like in its right place because this is where I sit and I do work. So it's well lit, it's comfortable, everything is great. The chair is excellent. Up there, because that's my craft room, I always am having to adjust things. And so I have, thank goodness my craft supplies are up there. Child, yesterday's setup was put together with a piece of PVC pipe, a part of a pool noodle, some construction paper, and a bunch of straight pins, right? Because, I'm crafty. So everything is all, so there was still some construction paper sitting there. So I was just like, oh, let me get this fly away from me. But I was like, flies don't buzz like that. That was not a fly. That was not even a fly's cousin. That might have been a bat or something. I don't know what it was. And then I swatted at it and I hit it. I know I hit it because I felt it make contact. The bug was so big, I could feel it make contact. But then I couldn't find it. And I was like, oh, I'm sure it's here on the floor someplace. I knocked it down, right? And then a few minutes later, I see it dive bombing at my head. It tried to kill me. If you watch the footage, I should slow that mess down like the Zapruder film. That bug tried to kill me. It was homicidal. So, of course, I freaked the rest of the way out. Well, now I'm alpha blood because if you try to kill me, listen, then I have to come back and try and kill you. That is the law of the jungle. That is the law of the attic. That is the law of bugs coming up into my house because you're just not going to come up in my house and not pay no rent. I didn't give birth to you too. That is not how we get down. So I swatted it again, a second time, thought I killed it, but couldn't find the corpse. I should have known something was wrong when I couldn't find the corpse. Then the third time, I was like, I can't find it because it's fast. It's buzzing loud. I hit it a third time. What kind of bug can take 3 hits from a human and still be going? Clearly, a zombie wasp. That was not a mud dauber. That was a zombie wasp. So I'm just like, I hit it again. Well, now I have to find the corpse because if I don't find the corpse and crush his little head off, then he's going to come back. And it's not my custom to crush something's little head off. But if you got to crush the head off, child, you got to crush the head off. What you want from me? So I was like, I can't find, oh, there it is. It was on my light. Like I have this big giant, I was like, oh, maybe it likes the light. But here's the thing. If you saw my studio tour, you will recall that the light was too bright. And so I have many, many, many layers of tulle upstairs because I like tulle. Lots of layers of tulle. I own many tulle skirts, but I have all these layers of tulle, and one bundle of tulle hangs from the ceiling, and I use it to adjust the brightness of the lights that are upstairs in the upper room. So the tulle is draped over the front of the lights, and it softens it enough, but it still lets the light come through. Makes for a perfect little setup upstairs, right? The wasp has somehow gotten itself tangled up in the tulle. And I was just like, dang it. Okay. So I kill it. And I'm like, okay, let me just finish it. Because I'm recording Snap. You know I record Snaps on Sunday. So I was like, I'm up to my 3rd episode. Let me just wrap up this Snap because I'm almost done. Right. And so I crush it. And I'm like, okay, it's there. Now I'm wrapping up the end of Snapped. And it starts to buzz and wiggle again. Freaked me. I was like, oh my God. Child, I was like a cartoon of myself. I became a caricature of my very own self. And there's actually a lot of footage of this happening because I thought I turned off my camera, but I didn't. I used all my best cuss words. I was mad. I was just like, oh no. And I'm up there and I'm squeezing and crushing and squeezing and crushing and twisting, and it's still alive. This bug was the undead. I'm telling you right now, it might still be alive up there had I not literally separated it into pieces, crushed it between 2 pieces of paper, and then torn the paper in half and thrown them in the garbage. Watch those bug pieces regenerate and become 5 more wasps. And I'm scared to go up there. Honest to goodness, I'm scared to go up there. Now, truth be told, they buzz so loud I could probably hear the buzzing through the door before I even went up there. But I have to check out the entire situation. You see me down here? I'm like, nah. I'm gonna need a break from all of that. I'm just gonna need a break. So, and some eagle-eyed watchers of this channel know when I put it up there, like justifiable homicide, self-defense. What are we doing here? People are like, oh, well, you did have an Excel pest control pad, awful handy. Yes. And there is a very good reason for that. It is not an alibi. I'm just explaining to you what happened. See, what happened was we use Excel pest services. They are normally very good. They've gotten rid of birds. They've gotten rid of bugs. They've gotten rid of mice. They've gotten rid of any kind of creature because, you know, I think nature needs to stay outside and humans need to stay inside. Now, listen, if I'm outside, I'm not going to kill a bug if I'm outside because I'm in that bug's house. When I'm in my house, oh, these bugs are all in trouble. Any vermin, anything that I didn't invite in, oh, you in trouble. You coming in my house. Because we don't get down like that. So the nice Excel people, they come and a couple times a year, they leave us these to-do lists. What am I going to do with paper? Who writes on paper? I have a couple little Post-it notes. I can barely find a pen in this house, but I'm hard pressed to find paper. Only when I'm doing my notes on true crime, I need paper. And so the only paper that's available are these notepads that are like these to-do lists or grocery lists or whatever that the nice Excel people leave once or twice a year. So I have 2 or 3 of them because they've been working for us for a couple of years. So those are my true crime notebooks. So I was doing what I'm supposed to do in my very own house. So again, not an excuse, merely explaining to you what happened. So that you know the full unedited footage. I did edit out a couple of the curse words because I'm like, I'm not sure what the YouTubes is going to be comfortable with. And so I need to just take some of these F's out and take some of the other, I mean, I did say the doo-doo in its most negative terms, you know, S-H-I. I said that word a couple of times because that is just like usually readily right here on my lips, ready to let fly. Like it's just right there. I can't help it. Just falls out sometimes. It's a couple of those in there. So if your kid's not used to that word, child, listen to it with headphones on because But that episode of Snapped airs on Wednesday. And the show must go on. The show must go on. The first time I saw it, I stopped the video. I was like, okay, let me handle this. And then after that, so then I stopped and then I started again. And I was like, y'all know I can't be editing. I'm not good at editing. So no matter what happened up here, I'm just going to let this tape run. So I stopped to kill, I stopped to deal with the threat, the imminent threat that was there, threatening my very life in my very own home. while I was minding my own business, not doing anything to any other bugs, because you know that's not me. So I paused, I pulled myself together, and kept on talking about Snapped. The woman's name was Linda. That's all I remember about it. That is scheduled to air on Wednesday. Full footage with some of the cussing edited out. But not that much, because you know it had to be at the very beginning or the very end. Otherwise, I don't know how to take it out, because that's not where my gifts lie. Okay, so look. The other thing, two other things that I wanted to talk about this morning. That is, what's his name? I wrote myself a note. See, look, I have notes, but only tiny pieces of paper, because we don't have full-size paper out here, because who uses paper? David Howard, that Melly attorney who departed. People have all kinds of thoughts and theories about David Howard. And let me share with you mine based on absolutely nothing. I have no insider information. I am not the news. I am merely a gossip, but this is what I think. I read online, they were saying like, oh, David Howard got fired. Please. David Howard did not get fired. I guarantee David Howard quit. And let me tell you why. This is the gospel according to Kathy. Now listen, I told you, I got no facts, I got no figures, I got no inside information. I'm just going with my gut and my own personal opinion. This is what I think happened. They're doing the case. Everything is going along good. Mr. Howard is up there. He's giving his opinion. He's a brilliant legal mind. Also, easy on the eyes and of commanding presence, a beautiful voice. He did the opening statements. He's very happy. Somewhere close to the end, I believe, based on nothing, that there was a disagreement among the lawyers. Because you notice, as we got closer to the end, after he embarrassed himself, he kept trying to like make that, remember the gunshot dude? And the guy, he was like, who holds a gun like this? You can't hold a gun like this. And the guy was like, no, but if you turn like this, that makes all the angles work. And he was like, oh, looks like I just embarrassed myself on national TV. So I'm gonna take my seat over there, right? Shortly after that, he had much less of a vocal presence. Now, that was close to the end of the trial, but we heard less from him after that. He was not standing up. He was fully phoning it in the last couple of days of the trial. And I thought that's so weird, because David Howard is such a commanding presence, and he stands up and blah, 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 like he was really engaged and plugged in. And at a certain point towards the end of the trial, I was like, well, maybe he's just tired. Maybe this has been a long trial. I don't know what's going on. He just was like phoning it in. He dialed himself back. He sat there quietly. He would sit there a lot of days just sitting down, looking down, making notes. He's not engaging with Melly. He's not doing anything. Raven and Stu, oh, they're the Melly whisperers. They're like, okay, Mr. Melly Mal, let me talk to you. You okay? You need some candy? Do you need a gun or something? No, you can't have a gun. Okay, whatever. So I'm like, David Howard is sick of him. He's sick of all of them. Plus, David Howard, I don't know anything about his win-loss record, but something tells me he tends to be a winning attorney. And this case is clearly a loser. In the beginning, he got up and said, prove it, prove it, prove it. His opening statement was him saying, yeah, you said he did A, you said he did B, you said he did C, prove it. He demanded that the prosecution prove their case. And then for the next however many weeks, the prosecution got up there and proved their case, leaving Mr. Howard with nothing to say. Now, he could stand up there and lie to all of our faces and say they didn't prove it, but we saw these people prove it, although didn't prove it to everybody, but proved it to me and a lot of other people, right? That jury was 11-1 till the very, very end. I don't think it'll take much for them to get to a 12-0 verdict. I don't think they will convict Melly of like a death penalty type thing. Maybe they get to murder 1, maybe they get to murder 2. I don't know. But I don't think that Melly can win this case. And why in the world would Mr. Howard deal with this very long trial only to lose? Big name on the case? No. He's getting while the getting is good. And who can blame him? He's like, listen, this was fun. I enjoyed hanging out with all of y'all, but I'm out. Because Stu, from day one till the very end, fully engaged. Raven, dim though she may be, engaged from the very beginning. I get the feeling she's a paper lawyer. You know what I mean? Some lawyers are litigators where they get up and their verbal acuity, they can just like boom, 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 boom. They jab and duck and weave or whatever in the courtroom. That's not Raven. She's a real estate lawyer prior to this, which tells me she's a paper lawyer. Most lawyers, I know a ton of lawyers, a ton. My entire life is filled with lawyers on the personal side, on the professional side. I am drowning in attorneys and legal stuff. But all of the lawyers that I know, well, 90% of the lawyers I know, paper lawyers. They sit, they draft things, they write briefs, they draft all kinds of documents. Oh, you need a contract? They the ones you go to. Litigators, that's a whole other thing. In my opinion, Raven Liberty, not a litigator. She's a paper lawyer. That doesn't mean she's not a good lawyer. I'm just saying she needs to stick where her skills lie. There was a hearing the other day where she was up here just giving it to him. She's like, Your Honor, we did this and we did that and we wrote this down and we wrote that down. Great. Paper lawyer. Stu, litigator. He's a court lawyer. David Howard, court lawyer, who's also very smart, who's getting off this sinking train. Well, that's a mixed metaphor, but you know what I mean. David is like, this was good. It's some other stuff that's not going to ruin my reputation. And if regular people on the internet are getting heat and death threats, what you think David Howard is getting? He's like, I do not need this in my life. I'm trying to go to Cancun on vacation. I got some friends who want me to go to their vineyard, and I got to deal with this foolishness, and people are threatening my life. No, thank you. So that is my personal opinion on David Howard's departure from the YNW Melly team. Not that anybody asked me. Finally, last but certainly not least, y'all know where I'm gonna be today, right? Well, actually, I'm out and about today. I'm in the field today, so it's gonna be a very, very busy day. I need to wear comfortable shoes and comfortable clothes because I'm about to have a very, very busy day, running all over the place. But I'm gonna have the 13th juror right in my ear like I always do. Hey there, Brandy. Me and Brandy Churchwell and JT and all of the 13th jurors are gonna be over there on the 13th juror live stream watching a new case called The Widower. Now, apparently this was an episode of Dateline, and if it was on Dateline, I had to have seen it because I have seen every Dateline. This is what I need to know though. This man was on death row for killing his 6th wife. He's 60 something years old, and he was convicted several years ago. Y'all, you know I have thoughts and feelings on this, right? How am I your 6th wife? I might not even be your 3rd wife ever. Right now, I'm a 1st wife, right? Okay, fine, good. If my husband, bless his heart, I hope he lives a long, healthy life. But if something happens to him, then I will be, somebody gonna be my 2nd husband. Fine. I'm not going to be your 6th wife. I'm just not. Now, if I'm 80, 90, and all of those women died of natural causes, and it's provable you were never a person of interest, never even a little bit suspected, maybe. Hey, once you find that out, you can't find out my last name. Nope. Undateable. If you've had 6 wives and 4 of them are dead, I don't care what that. I don't care if y'all was all on the same boat together and the boat sank and most of them died. Nope. You looking crazy to me. I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you're attractive. I don't care if you have a yacht. None of it. It don't matter to me. Because you know what matters to me more than all those material things? My life. All of this cuteness. You can't have it. You're not eligible. You are undateable. Your application has been denied. You are not eligible to date me. Thank you so much for your application. I'm going to need you to move right along. How do you date a man with a bunch of dead wives? And he went to trial for a couple of them. He wasn't just a person of interest. The state thought they had the evidence. Now, could the state prove it? No. But you know how many times you get away with stuff before anybody can prove? How often do you speed and don't get tickets? Frequently, I'm willing to bet. If you've had 2 tickets, that means you've sped probably 80 times and only got 2 tickets. If you got 4 dead wives, nope. Ain't nothing you can say to me. Not a word. Not a thing. I don't even want you in the same room with me. I'm not sure you qualified to breathe my same air. So, lady, not to victim blame, but girl, So, don't let bad judgment get you killed out here, ladies. I'm just saying, you be careful. You protect your own precious self and stay alive. Stay alive. Isn't it better to be single than to be dead? Murdered at the hands of your husband. He would be a husband. That's what we call ex-husbands around here. He a husband. But I wouldn't even date that dude. He could not find out my name. So just so you know, especially since we have the internet, you live in an internet age. When a man, you single, a dude is dating, you know you got a friend who's half a private investigator. Just ask your friend to run a background check. That's all you have to do. It's not that hard. Listen, one of my cousins, who shall remain nameless, hey girl, was dating this dude, and she was like, oh, he's nice, he's this and that, whatever. I was like, well, you want me to run a background check, girl? Because I know people. I know some people with some LexisNexis. And she was just like, no, you don't have to run a background check. I said, well, tell me, because she was using his nickname. I said, okay, well, tell me his first and last name. So I can prepare a full dossier. And if you decide you want it, then we can have the conversation. She said, you so silly. His name is Sam Jones. I was like, okay, great. Not his real name. I was like, my other cousins was like, oh, well, she don't want to know, but we want to know. I was like, oh, okay, so look. I had his home address, his business license. Was he actually divorced? Yes. How long he been divorced? His political party, whatever. Because I had my girlfriends and I did some Spokio. Child, it's a lot of free and readily available internet websites who can help you do all your background research. Everybody needs a friend who's half an FBI agent. If you watching this, you probably the friend who's half an FBI agent. I was going through this man's social media. I found evidence of his divorce, who he voted for in the last election. I found pictures from inside his house. It was a cute house. All kinds of stuff. Oh, he said he and his wife got divorced in XYZ year. I was like, nope, lies. This is when they actually got divorced. How many kids he said he had? And she was like, wait, what? Through my investigations and the investigation of availing myself of the resources of my friends, child, we found this whole man's life. And a lot of what he said was true. Some of it was not. Then she could decide the things that were inconsistent with his story or those things that made him undateable or not dateable. In the end, she didn't date him for a whole other reason. Fine. But she had all the information she needed to know. This dude with the 4 dead wives? Ain't no excuse for that. No woman alive should be dating him. None. And if you're watching this and you have multiple dead wives, the only women you dating are foolish women. And so I'm just saying, or friends with no internet access. You live like you off the grid or something. Y'all got the internet. Plus, if you off the grid, who trying to do that? Not me. Not me. No. That's not my gift. Listen. I need to get on with my day. I got laundry to fold. I'm going to do some baking this morning. I have a recipe for some breakfast cookies. It's things happening around here. My dog is limping. She has like a little bit of a sore paw, so I have to investigate this paw situation. Okay, y'all have a great day. I'm going to see you later over there on the 13th juror. You take it easy. Watch out for flying bugs. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.